Hello, this is Geometry, Topic 7-4 on arc length and area of sectors. So first off, let's talk about how do we find arc length. So we talked about the measure of an arc. The measure of an arc is in degrees. However, we have a circumference, and so I may need to figure out how long it is from E to F along the circle. That's what the arc length is. It's a piece of the circumference. And we solve it using a proportion. X degrees of the arc over the 360 degrees of a circle equals the arc length over 2 pi r. Now 2 pi r is the circumference. Okay. That is the circumference. So let's go ahead and look at this. So I want to find the arc length of EF. Well, it is 120 degrees. So that means it's 120 over 360. And this equals my arc length, which we don't know, I'm going to call that x, over 2 pi r. So 2 pi times 6, which this equals 12 pi. And now we simply cross multiply. 120 times 12 pi divided by 360. So in my calculator, I do 120 times 12 divided by 360, and I get 4 pi because of the pi here. So EF is 4 pi. And we're just going to leave these in exact terms. Let's go ahead and look at example number 2. We want to find the length of LM. Okay. Well, if this is 300, 360 minus 300 equals 60 degrees. So this must be 60 degrees. So we set it up, 60 degrees over 360 equals our arc length over 2 times 3 pi, which is 6 pi. This is my circumference. So I cross multiply and divide. 60 times 6 divided by 360 equals 1 pi. So the length of LM is simply pi. Find the degrees of the arc, set up your proportion. This is the circumference. Cross multiply and divide. Leave it in terms of pi. Fairly simple. Let's go ahead and take a look at our next example. And here we're going to deal with sectors. Okay? Now, arc length is a piece of the circumference. A sector is a slice of the circle. So if you have a pie and you figure out what's the area of just this piece of pie, you can do this. Okay? So the slice of a circle that is bounded by 2 radii and an arc. So for example, I have 2 radiuses which create an arc. The shaded part is called the sector. It's the same thing. It is the degree of the arc over the 360 degrees of a circle equals the sector area over pi r squared, which is the area of the circle. So my sector arc is 120 degrees over 360 degrees equals my sector area that I don't know over the area of the circle, which is 6 squared pi, which I'll just rewrite as 36 pi. So we cross multiply and divide. 120 times 36 divided by 360 equals 12. Pi. So our sector area is 12 pi. The whole circle was 36 pi. Our sector is 12 pi. Let's go ahead and do example number 4. We want to find the area of this sector. Well, the degree of our arc is 20 over 360 equals our sector area over 3 squared pi, which is 9 pi. We cross multiply and divide. 20 times 9 over 360 equals 0.5 pi. So our sector area is 0.5 pi. The whole circle was 9 pi. This slice is half of pi. Let's go ahead and look at example number 5. We're putting both together. We want to find both the length and the sector area. Well, to find length, it's going to be, well, if this is 210, we need to start with 360 minus 210 gives us 150. So 150 over 360 equals our length over 2 times 5 pi, which is 10 pi. Cross multiply and divide. 150 times 10 over 360. Let's go ahead and just put this as a fraction. 25 over 6. L equals 25 over 6 pi. Which is 4 1/6 pi. Now we do the same thing for our area. 150 over 360 equals our area over pi r squared, so 5 squared pi, which is 25 pi. Cross multiply and divide. 150 times 25 divided by 360. We get another weird number, so I'm going to go math fraction. That gives me 125 over 12 pi, which comes out to 10 and 5/12 pi. Because 10 times 12 is 120, leaves me with 5 left over. Now over here, 6 times 4 is 24, leaves me with 1 left over. Let's go ahead and take a look at example number 6. Here we want to find the measure of angle AOB. I want to figure out what that is. So, it tells me my arc length is pi squared. So x over 360 equals my arc length over 2 times 16 pi, which is 32 pi. We cross multiply and divide. 8 times 360 divided by 32 is 90. Now this time we had pi divided by pi, which cancel each other out, so it is just 90. So this is a 90-degree arc. Let's go and take a look at example number 7. This says that the area of a sector is this, and AOB is 120. AOB. And the sector, that would be this part right here, is 120. We want to find the length of our radius. Well, 120 over 360 equals the area of our sector, 432 pi, over pi r squared. I'm going to look at this and I see 2 pi's, which means I can cross them off, so I don't have to worry about pi. And now I'm going to cross multiply. 432 times 360 gives me a nice long number, 155520. And this equals 120 r squared. I'll divide both sides by 120. And I get the r squared equals 1296. I take the square root of 1296 and I get 36. So my radius is 36. Now most of these problems were trying to find the arc length or the area of the sector. However, be prepared to flip the problem, and instead of looking for those, being given them and trying to find out what your radius is or the measure of your angle is. So, good luck on the assignment. Have a good day.